All right, we're with Squeaks now, and we're going to be looking at the Inside Xbox announcements. Overall, Squeaks, what are your thoughts on how this went?
I think it went okay. It was just a lot of trailers. I feel like this is like a mini E3 for us,
Hmm.
where it's just trailer after trailer after trailer. We get excited for it, but we really don't get anything more than just a couple images.
Yeah, we have some new titles that look pretty interesting, but generally it was just some trailers.
Exactly.
Everybody was kind of let down a little bit. They thought we were going to get more gameplay out of like Assassin's Creed. Uh, I think we'll be getting more. Xbox did announce last week that they're going to be doing this Xbox 2020 campaign, where they're going to be doing more of these little events throughout the year leading up to the Xbox Series X release. So hopefully we'll be getting some more details soon. What we're going to be doing for this is we have all the trailers on our website. So if you guys feel free to go to thegeekfreakpdcast.com and you'll find our article about this with all the trailers. Me and Squeaks are going to sit here and watch each of the trailers and then give our reactions afterwards. We will cut, of course, the watching part out. So, Squeaks, we're going to start off with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Let's go ahead and watch that.
Right.
So that is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. What are your first impressions, Squeaks?
Super excited for it just to go to the Viking era. I think that a lot of the environments they kind of nailed on, especially when you see the or I don't know if you call it stone hedges, but that stone with those rocks on the ground, or
Right.
whatever
Yeah.
area that is. So it feels like it's kind of neat that they're going through real life environments. I think they kind of nailed it with just a Viking village when you kind of see the inside of like a little hall they have with the tables and everyone's just kind of there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Visually, I'm super excited for this game. I do have some hopes though. Um, I hope that we could go back to the Brotherhood. The last two games, we really didn't have the Assassin's Creed themselves, I guess you
Hmm.
call it. I know in Origins they made the Assassin's Brotherhood at the end, and in the Odyssey, of course, this was pre-Origins. So I really hope when we go back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla that we could get uh like this assassin brotherhood going coming back to it, like we could feel like I'm in this brotherhood and I could fight alongside other assassins.
Yeah, that'd be nice to actually see the faction itself. Always liked the rivalry between them and the Templars, so hopefully we get that back. Maybe we
Hmm.
find out that one of the English kings is a Templar. That'd be perfect.
Oh yeah.
Um, there'd be a little extra spice on everything like that. Uh, Visuals look really good, like we've been saying so far. The settings to me is really standing out. This entire trailer was done on Xbox engines, so what you did see is all actually being played on an Xbox. A lot of these settings and things, a lot of the settings, the surroundings around you are all Xbox. It looks very good to me. Again, just super excited for it. We saw some executions that looked really good. This game will be using the smart delivery system, and what that means is you could buy it for the Xbox One if you want to, and later on when you purchase an Xbox Series X, you'll have that game as well, the Series X version of the game. So that's pretty cool. Good way to save money there. Any last thoughts
One,
on Assassin's Creed?
yeah, one thing I do want to bring up, I think this is a huge disappointment because this was obviously the last part of this Xbox experience, whatever we're calling this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Inside Xbox.
the thing inside Xbox, yes. And the thing was that we were going to get this gameplay trailer, and I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us assumed that we were going to get someone behind the controller controlling Eero or Viro, whatever this main character's name is,
Mm-hmm.
and actually getting to see real gameplay. But then this is what we see, and it's like, well, what is this? I think it threw a lot of people for a loop.
Yeah. As awesome as this looks, it's not exactly the moment by moment that I'm going to be playing when I'm actually behind the character, making my moves. That's actually what I wanted to see as well. There's been a lot of disappointment in that mentioned
Yeah.
online, so I think Xbox has already apologized for that. They set the expectations too high. I think the next one might give us a little bit more detail. So hopefully they correct that because there's a lot of people that's been upset.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you say gameplay, come on, you know what we want. We want to see real gameplay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
yeah.
Even like the settings, like when you saw them just looking at their environment around them, it's a moment where you're stopped, and that's meant to be like a cinematic opening when you're into a new zone. So it's tailor made to look as good as possible. It's not necessarily when you're out there hunting for food or something like that. That's just your everyday kind of gameplay.
Hmm.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We're going to be checking out Yakuza Like a Dragon. Let's go ahead and watch this one.
Like a dragon, but I saw no dragons besides the one on the tattoo on his back.
It must like activate his powers, maybe. I don't know.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, it was lackluster for me. It started out great. It looked like a kind of game I'd want to play. I mentioned this to you before, where I feel like it's the older titles were closer to GTA, and this one is much more like Saints Row.
Hmm.
About halfway in, there's this switch in tone from a serious game where you're an up and coming member of the Yakuza, and then the new tone is like, oh, wacky fun times with a giant crab or lobster actually, and everybody's got abilities. It's so weird,
Yeah.
and just I'm not a fan. I won't be buying this. I think it would probably be on Game Pass. The other Yakuza is the last one, so we'll have to see. What are your thoughts?
It had me as like a serious story game,
Hmm.
and then when you start seeing him pull the bat out of the ground and then pressing the cell phone, this crazy ass thing activates. And it's like, and then so when you're doing crazy shit like that in the trailer, I'm just like, okay, so what is the point of this? What's going on?
Yeah.
Is this yeah, yeah. I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. That's all.
Are you going to be playing it?
It's definitely have to be a Game Pass game for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I
Um,
think it will be on Game Pass.
yeah, I just don't see myself getting into this one.
Yeah. Let's go and check out Second Extinction, and we'll watch that trailer now.
God, man, I want to just fight a T-Rex with some of my buddies.
Well, you're good about to. So, Second Extinction, T Rex, and a ton of like super raptors, I'm going to call them. It looks like it's a lot of fun. You just have guns, you have to survive, and you just shoot a bunch of dinosaurs. There is a bit of a survival thing going on where I notice it's snowing and it looks like somebody's building a fire. So I think you're dropped off on this island. You need to quickly create tools and weapons enough to survive, and then you're just gonna go and like try to take out as much of these dinosaurs as possible. I wonder if they're on like a night cycle or something like that, where you have like this much time before like nightfall happens and the dinosaurs attack.
Well, okay, so I like what you're thinking with the time cycle and then a survival aspect, but I'm gonna go differently, and I am going
Okay.
to say that this is gonna be we're just looking at levels. I think this is
Okay.
more like a Left 4 Dead, and it's gonna be a level in the night, a level during the day, stuff like that. I hope you're right though. I'm just kind of looking at a different
Hmm.
viewpoint, but I'm super excited because I love dinosaurs. Going back to my PS1 days with Dino Crisis,
Yeah.
huge fan of Dino Crisis. What I really like is just crazy dumb fun. I love the fact that when you shoot a raptor, some of them are just blowing up. Um, I love the fact that the bosses, I'm gonna assume, will be like the huge T Rex. I'm just picturing like three of us trying to like circle around this massive dinosaur that's attacking all of us. It just looks super a game you could just pick up and have a lot of just fun with.
Yeah. 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 It looks like it's kind of probably gonna be one of those maybe $30 game range where it's uh,
Mm.
multiplayer, maybe not like super story driven. I'm assuming. Uh, Left for Dead is a good one. Dead by Daylight kind of thing like that, where it's a lot of fun for your friends. Um, I can tell that there must be different roles because there's like big machine gun, shotgun guy. I think there's probably different roles, which you can expect.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you had it right there. It's gonna be super fun.
Yeah, I can see your price point though because Predator came out for the PS4 and that I think had a $40 price point.
Hmm.
And that's because it is basically your one player controls a predator, and then you have a team of survivors or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I can see that. I like that observation.
Let's move on to Scarlet Nexus. So Scarlet Nexus, you had a good observation during the trailer about it being similar in a way, possibly to Devil May Cry. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because it seemed just the camera angle with him, and then how he was like launching people in the air and then fighting them or monsters, wherever these roses are.
Yeah.
Um, and then with the music, I'm kind of getting this fast-paced tone, which Devil May Cry is. Um, I think it looks really pretty though. Um, with the character himself, with the environment and how it moved in the beginning when you saw the Eiffel Tower.
Hmm.
But it just what like it's kind of like the Yokozo or Yakuzo, how I'm saying or whatever, but the dragon, like a
Yeah,
dragon.
Yakuza.
What's going on?
Yeah, the bad guys totally took me out of it because they're like bundles of flowers. and not like vines or anything like that. Just actually like bundles of flowers that you're fighting. Uh, it has an anime feel to it a little
Hmm.
bit, but still, I don't know. I think this is a pass for me. Are you
Would
gonna be picking
you?
this up?
Let me ask you a question though. You said this, not the cool like poison ivy flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
Would if you saw like a villain that was raising these plants to life to make it look like that, would that change your mind a little bit or no?
If I were to get a little bit more of what's behind it, because currently we do see some like a big couple big bads that don't look terrible, but
Hmm.
the fact that the other ones look so stupid that I'm just like I don't have any interest in these.
Yeah.
Uh, I would like this character and this world looks great. Make them vampires, make them robots, make them something cooler than just flowers.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll have to wait until yeah, for the reviews to come out before I pick
Yeah,
this
yeah.
up. Yeah.
We'll have to see. It'll be on Game Pass, I'm sure. Next up, we have The Medium.
Um, man, this trailer is just way too short to get anything really out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a story-driven game. You know, I think it's one of those things where we're going from point A to point B and just kind of gathering the story as we go.
Okay.
Uh, and then if you look at how the title is made, where the top looks normal and the bottom looks all messed up, I think we're getting. I want to try to convey
Oh
it's the upside down from
man.
Stranger Things, right? But I think
Yeah.
the bottom, the upside down, is actually hell. So think of the hell from the movie Constantine. That version of hell, it actually looks quite a bit like it.
Okay.
So from the promotional art, we see that they're trying to drag a person down into hell. I think I think you're right. It's gonna have something to do with the Antichrist. This looks like it takes place in Russia, frozen Russia. Um, a thriller, a horror. I'm excited for it, but it doesn't give us much yet.
Yeah, really doesn't. I like your observation with the title, how it's portrayed. Now, I could see somebody taking this idea of the upside down world because we haven't really seen that in a video game yet, right? I can't think of
Uh,
one.
yeah, not really I
Um,
could think of. Yeah,
so I could see someone taking like, oh, hey, Stranger Things is really cool. Let's kind of flip it into our mix and kind of not copy slash copy.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, it'll be interesting. Our friend Joe, he's most excited about this one, so he'll probably watch it and review it for us, or play it and review it for us. Let's go ahead and check out The Ascent. That's The Ascent. It looks like it's kind of a top-down shooter slash dungeon crawler. I get a futuristic gauntlet feel out of it. A lot of cybernetics and alien life forms. Pretty dark, bleak, cyberpunk type world. Uh, are you picking this one up?
I don't know. I only go so far with these over the top shooting games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so weird because Diablo, I get it. I have a different feeling for, but then when I play something like this, um, I don't stick with them very long. Super unexpected. I was not from seeing the beginning of the trailer to what it is, the gameplay. I'm like, oh wow, that was not what I was expecting. Um, yeah, like I'm getting the cyberpunk feel slash Star Wars because we get to see all these kind of like weird alien races.
Oh, that's a good one.
It looks like so. I'm just thinking of Star Wars in a cyberpunk world. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but these games only do so much for me.
Yeah, same for me. I'll sometimes pick them up and I'll go through a few levels. I don't think I ever really try to finish them. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those with friends because if you compare it to like Diablo I've cleared all the way through and played multiple times and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So if it gets the right niche out of me, then I'm happy with it. I'll continue playing, but we'll have to see. It has to do a lot to be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Next is gonna be Call of the Sea. I'm actually really excited for you to check this one out. I want to hear what you think.
Okay.
So let's watch this one. Call of the Sea. This one's by Raw Fury, and Out of the Blue. Okay, visually, what game does it remind you of?
Of course, I think we're going with Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah, man, it rings so much Sea of Thieves. I'm excited for that.
Hmm.
Uh, what do you think about this game?
Well, one, yes, of course, it looks very pretty. I think we're gonna get this beautifully told story, and we're just
Hmm.
gonna fall in love with this female character. Um, I think okay, there's gonna be some puzzles. I'm kind of getting a uh, not so much of a Telltale, but maybe a Strange Life or whichever that one.
Life is Strange. Yeah.
Life is Strange, yeah. Um, feel to it because I feel like we're gonna be directed into uh one lane. but we're going to solve
Hmm.
some puzzles along the way and unlock more of this untold story. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think I will pick one up right away because I think this is going to be a beautifully told story, and it looks very pretty.
Yeah, again, Sea of Thieves looks. Yeah, I have to agree with you, man. I think you're 100% right. I think it's a puzzler, one and leans on exploration. There was one shot that had me very interested, where because she's following, I would presume, her husband,
Hmm.
and she's trying to figure out what he's. And when she says the line of "What did you find down here?" or something like that, we see the player's hands are actually have like webbed hands, like they've turned
Hmm.
into the swamp. They're like a fish monster, you know.
Yeah.
So there's something to uncover there, and obviously we get to play as that character. Uh, I'm excited for this one. This is actually, yeah, this is a day one pickup for me. I'm gonna definitely try it out. Let's check out Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2. It's kind of a long title. Let's watch that one next. You've played the previous games, that's correct?
Yeah, I played the first one long time ago. I believe it was back in 2004 when the first one came out.
Okay.
Um, and it was just the first person walking through like these towns and solving a little bit of puzzles here and there. Not so much, but then yeah, the fighting as well.
Yeah.
This one though, like I wasn't really shocked with the graphics. Seemed like they didn't
I didn't
really
want to
go
bring that
crazy
up
on
while we were
it.
watching it because I was trying to not taint you on that. But yeah, to me, it feels like early Xbox One graphics at best.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good. Um, and I mean, what's neat? I mean, I like kind of like the fighting. It reminds me of like the Darkness. I don't know if you ever played that game.
Oh, yeah,
Pretty
oh
old.
man, yeah.
It reminds me of that because it has those special abilities that look like your character was doing.
Hmm.
I think it'd be kind of cool to play a little hands-on combat first person. If I'm saying that correctly. Kind of like
Yeah.
Skyrim. It's been a while since I played something like that. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on this one.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the vampire games in the past, so going into a completely noob, not impressed at all. Again, the visuals just they don't look good. The storytelling might be interesting. Clearly, you're a vampire killing people, so that's why I was kind of leaning to you on that one.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, this one's a pass for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just need to see. Yeah, I just need to see more.
Let's move on to Madden 21.
Oh man. Oh god, Mahomes, get the fuck off my screen.
So, Squeaks, I know you're a big fan of Mahomes, which
Yeah.
starts and ends our trailer here. Yeah, to me, Madden 21, I'm the one of those guys that's like, yeah, but all they do is really just update the names on the jerseys. I did like how this one we had the retrospective that looked at some of the past games. You and me were commenting during the trailer that, oh, I remember playing that game and this version of that game and stuff like that. We've definitely come a long way since then. And one of the things they're featuring is now you're gonna be able to feel the game. They talked about how like each step, each hit, you're gonna be able to feel it instead of just visually stunning. To me, that feels like a feature to DualSense, not so much on the Xbox. Thoughts on that?
Right, because that's something that PlayStation was advertising more than what Xbox has been this next generation. So I don't know. Maybe it's just something that's telling us how we're gonna feel it, like just because it'd be more in our face. It could be just a figure, of speech.
Yeah,
I
it felt
think,
like they were really leaning on like because they dulled out all the other sounds of the audience, and you actually like heard each step. So to me, it felt like, oh, we're actually gonna feel those steps. I don't know. Yeah, to me, yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah. My impression. I'm gonna buy this right away because it was announced
Okay.
that Lamar Jackson was on the cover, so I will buy a physical copy
Guess who's reviewing it for us? Yeah.
to put the actual case on my shelf with other sports memorabilia. So
Okay.
I'm buying a physical copy. Why my reaction for the trailer? Mahomes, why are you talking to me about staying home, being safe, and to announce me that it's gonna come on Xbox? No shit, every Madden comes on all the systems.
Yeah.
Not to be. Common
I
sense
think
for
there
me.
might be some bias against Mahomes.
No, I'm just saying. You're right. If it was someone on the Ravens, then I wouldn't care as much. But it's just like I don't know. I just don't see the point of having him on it. All you did was talk more than I actually saw. Did we
Mhm.
see anything about in 21? To be honest, how do we
Just the
know
whole
that was
feeling it
21?
thing.
Yeah, how do
Yeah,
we know that was Madden 21? That could be Madden 20.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
honestly,
That's how all the games are really for me. All the Madden games, I always buy the one that's like 5 years old because it's dirt cheap at GameStop, and it still scratches that itch I need scratched. So uh, I'm not gonna pick this one up right away. It'll be a bit before I play this one. I know Daniel and you will be buying it day one.
yeah.
Uh, so hopefully you guys like it and review it for us.
Yep. Yep.
Let's watch the trailer for Chorus. Looks like it's going to be on the rail shooter in space. We had a lot of the protagonist who apparently has runes on her face, which makes me think that there is some sort of like a mysticism involved in this, some sort of magic. One of her abilities is when she like went to hyperspeed or whatever. She moved and she became like this like beam of light that looked very magical and less science based. Uh, what do you think? Is this just basically another Star Fox? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think because the rune writing on her face and the maybe the probably the enemy, the villain of the game, speaking at the end, could be kind of
Yeah.
corrupting her mind because I just feel like the way he's talking is kind of talking into her head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I think is we're gonna get this pretty cool, badass story, but it's just like a Star Fox. You get this cool story, but then all you're doing is just flying in a ship and shooting some things. Um, yeah, so I'm kind of interested to see what this one's about, really, besides just flying around and shooting.
Yeah, I hope it's more than that. I think what we saw is a lot of cinematics, and then the game actual gameplay was flying around in space. So hopefully we get a little bit more than just that.
Looks
Otherwise, I think it's going to be a $20 game for me. If it's
really,
$20, I might pick it up.
it looks really fast paced. So I'm kind of hoping that's a thing that
Yeah.
the dodging and the shooting is just super quick.
You also made a good point that there are moments where you're fighting big ships, and that could be a
Hmm.
big change in gameplay.
Yeah, because that'd be super fun to take down these big star destroyers. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Colossus of the Shadow in space. I'm down.
Oh, oh, son of a bitch.
I just sold it. Let's watch the trailer for Scorn.
I'm actually excited for this one.
Yeah.
This is one I'm actually looking forward to one of the most from all these trailers. I enjoy horror games most of the time. And some of the ones that kind of like Outlast, where all you do is just run away from shit, aren't as exciting to me. Hopefully, that doesn't become this.
Mhm.
I think many people point out that it's kind of getting this alien feel, and I definitely can see that. Maybe they just kind of took the elements of Alien and made it more twister and sicker, made it a little more gruesome.
Yeah.
What I like though is it looks like this elegant, beautiful hell in a way.
Yeah.
Because everything does look it's kind of twisted saying it, but this like beautiful Dante's Inferno image of it just looks even for how gruesome it is, it looks very beautiful at the same time.
I didn't think about that. It does look beautiful while also being haunting.
Hmm.
Uh, I get a parasite feel, like there's a parasite that's taken over. Maybe we do see some what looks like human armor with another creature that's inside and an overgrowth of some sort of biomaterial.
Yeah.
There, it opens up on a shot of a human skull, and then we see on the back of the skull there's another life form growing.
Hmm.
And then on the alien front, if you look at the font used to say Scorn, I mean that's just straight up alien right there with like that
Yeah.
rib detail. That
Hmm.
looks like that could have just said alien. Uh, this looks interesting. I think I might play this one. Yeah, I'm starting to trust Xbox and their choices in horror games. So I'm on board. I'm on board
Yeah,
for
I'm
this.
curious of what we are going to do in this game though. Are we trying to escape something? Or are we I wish it would have kind of gave us a
Yeah.
little something of that instead of just whatever was going on here.
I think it might be a shooter, and the reason I'm thinking that is
Oh,
because there is a shot of like this swarm that's kind of, I think, like maybe eating at something up on the top there.
yeah, yeah.
And right when I saw that, I thought, okay, that's one of those things where like in Destiny, where you turn around the corner, all of a sudden a bunch of little things come at you, and you got to shoot them all down real quick. So I kind of have a feeling of like maybe this is like the flood from Halo.
Yeah, I really hope it just isn't going to become like what I'm saying. These horror games that all you do is run away from shit. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I could compare this to Agony that came out
Hmm.
not too long ago, and all you're doing is just you're in hell and you're hiding or you're running. And if it's something like that, those games really don't catch my attention. The only thing
Yeah.
that kind of really did was the Alien game, Isolation.
Isolation. Yeah.
So
Which is now on Game Pass, by the way.
yeah, that's the only time really, but then it's because it has a huge title name to it. So I mean. If Scorn's like this, then I probably won't be playing it at all.
Well, you know what? Hold on. Alien Isolation just went on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Yakuza being on Game Pass after they just put that on Game Pass. Could Scorn actually be in the Alien universe?
Well, you did say the font was the same.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. We might, guys, breaking here. Scorn might be in the Alien universe.
Yeah, I mean, a
I
lot of people are
actually did
comparing
get a
it to.
Prometheus vibe too, actually, when I was first checking it out because the heads, the giant
Yeah,
heads,
yeah.
is very Prometheus like.
So you think they would make an alien that gruesome, huh? Which would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, man. Okay, I might have to do some research on that. That's cool. Let's check out Dirt 5.
So I'm getting this vibe that we're never gonna race on cement.
Well, Dirt kind of tells you in the title that you're not supposed to be. Mostly off road, yeah. We open up with them racing on ice, and there are better options. So just makes drifting really easy and cool.
Yeah.
I haven't liked, or let me say it again. I haven't looked forward to playing a racing game since, I don't know, like the last Burnout maybe.
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to trying out Dirt 5. We have weather
Yeah.
changes. Looks like it's pretty collision friendly. Mostly off road. It did seem like some of the cars were meant to be on road, so maybe we'll get some on road stuff too. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I'm gonna assume that the obviously the dirt changes the way you drive, but I hopefully if these weather will affect the way you drive too, and that's I'm gonna assume, but I'm gonna hope as well that they actually thought about that.
Yeah, I bet it does. I bet it does. And we saw like a lightning strike too. So if
Yeah,
that like, I could imagine if you're doing some like, racing against your friend, and one of you guys gets struck by lightning, how crazy cool
yeah,
that'd be.
that'd be a little intense.
Yeah. Uh, just of course gorgeous. All racing game trailers though always look gorgeous. If you can go back to like the Xbox 360 racing trailers, they all look amazing.
Hmm.
Actually being in the game, we'll see how it goes. But a promising start. It's been a bit since I've cared about a racing game, and I'm actually interested in this one.
Yeah.
All right, we have one more to go, guys. It is Bright Memory Infinite. That game, I mean, just gorgeous. Looks so amazing. Very fluid. It's completely gameplay trailer. Actually, what you'd be doing in game. Changes genres on you so fast. We saw a fighter like you would in like Dark Souls. You were saying Dark Souls. We have, of course, the shooter aspect. We have a lot of mobility. You're zipping around with your some sort of grappling wrist thing. And then we close off with a racer. So it has a little bit of everything. Pretty amazing looking game.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks like it runs way too smooth. The vibe I was getting, this is 100% Bulletstorm to me.
Oh, Bulletstorm. Okay,
And
yeah.
what gets me that is that whip that she was using to pull enemies or get across to a certain location. And what
Yeah.
really got me was that the fact that that character she was fighting with the sword and the shield,
Hmm.
when she hit him up in the air and she pulled him back with that rope, it had that little freeze, and that's 100%
Yeah.
what Bulletstorm does. So I don't know if maybe these developers are in ties with it or whatnot, but that was a copycat for sure.
So
Um,
you go ahead. Sorry.
it's just that was what it was. Like when you whip them, freeze them, and you can do damage. So, the whole time I was watching this, I was getting this Bulletstorm feel.
You said something interesting there. You said developers. This might shock you. It's actually developer. One person made this game.
One person or one.
One person.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Xbox has always been a big fan of indie game developers, and this is made by just one person. I want to say it's out of
Wow,
South Korea, maybe China.
that is insane.
Yeah. Just the weather effects alone are insane.
Yeah, I love the setting too, with because you're saying South Korea, China, that like the walls and that theme that we're getting.
Mhm.
Um, oh man, I don't know. The setting of this game looks beautiful.
Yeah. And the way that you have that, they're clearly in the middle of a storm or hurricane or
Yeah,
something like that. And as soon as you get into that car, you're that first person quick shooter. I mean, it's better than not Fallout, Far Cry. Because, people would say, like, oh, yeah, it's kind of like Far Cry where you can drive too. No, this feels like you're actually racing around, like it's actually has good driving in it.
yeah.
Uh, I, this game has me hyped. I will definitely be playing this game as fast as possible.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so inside Xbox overall, Squeaks, what is your highlight out of the whole thing?
The high, it's hard to find one because there really isn't a high for me.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because all we got were these little snippets of a bunch of trailers that were like, okay, can I see a little bit more so I can understand a little bit of it?
Yeah.
Like Scorn is a big one. The Medium was a big one of just like, well, okay, and so what's next? But I did like seeing that there are a bunch of new games coming out. But then are we going to be let down to E3 where, okay, cool, we see this trailer. 3 years later, we still don't have nothing for it. So I don't get excited as I used to about these video games because I feel like it's just all how many pushbacks are we getting? Um, I told you I was upset about the Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the fact that we
Hmm.
were told gameplay, and to me, that's not gameplay. That's bullshit. Yeah, I'm passionate about that because I watched the whole thing to get nothing.
Yeah.
Um, you know, what is this, like the first time they did something like this? Is that correct? Um,
It's first of many that we're going to be getting this year. Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we kind of learn, hear the customers, the players, the fans, and then kind of build from that.
Yeah. And a lot of companies are learning how to do this. Ubisoft just announced on Monday. So they just announced on the 11th that they're going to be doing a new event on, I think it was the middle of June. So they have their own event coming up.
Nice.
Uh, Games Radar just announced a new event. So everybody's going to be doing these little summer events. We're going to be doing Gamers United, where we bring a bunch of other podcasts on, and then we're going to be doing history deep dives into these different developers, so you can see where they started, who grew the company, and where they are at now. So we're learning to be online, guys. It's an online community. Everybody's getting involved, so we're gonna get more of these, and everybody's gonna learn to do them better and better. I think by the end of the summer, we're gonna start getting these really cool, massive, awesome events, and they're gonna get really cool. For me, the highlights, man, so I'm an Xbox fanboy, of course,
Hmm.
so it's a little bit hard. I'm always like, this will become good because it's on the Xbox. But I'm gonna say Call of the Sea really looks good to me.
Oh yeah.
Uh, you know, maybe the Scorn if I'm not too afraid. We'll have to see. Bright Memories a purchase for me for sure. And then of course Assassin's Creed. I did like what we saw out of Assassin's Creed myself,
Hmm.
and I'm excited for it. So I think Xbox, their presentation was pretty solid myself.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you guys next week. And we're going to be doing our rapid fire reviews. We're going to be reviewing everything we've been watching during quarantine in under a minute. So it'll be a lot of fun.